2 couples, and
Oh, there you go.
Don't stare at me while I'm dressing. I saw you. You were. You always do.
Never.
Clare, remember where a few things have shifted around, where some of them have gone a little south?
I hadn't noticed. Really?
I've noticed how often you don't. Damn gravity.
Come off it, Nora. You know damn well have you held up.
Held up. Run out of right-handed compliments, have we?
About a half an hour into your phone call from Billy, I did.
The boy is a train wreck. How can I not talk to him?
Of course. Hi. Can she call you back? We've got one foot out the door.
Is that Billy?
It's Julian. Nora.
Julian? No problem, dear. Really, what? Honest to God! Oh, congratulations. That is terrific news. Let me call you from the car.
Preferably while you're making a left-hand turn into oncoming traffic.
Have you called Billy? He'll be as thrilled.
Hope you're aware that in 2 minutes we'll have blown the curtain. Thank you very much.
I am rushing my guts out, okay?
Yeah, the odd phone call to one side.
How could I not take his?
This is a recording.
It's not like they ever start on time. Opening nights especially. I can't be sorrier than sorry, okay?
Staying off the phone would be a help.
No problem. Guess what Julian said?
I'll just eavesdrop in the car, okay? It's the actors I feel bad for.
For all the actors? Or just poor Marla?
All of the actors. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, ma'am. All there on stage trying to get through the middle of the second scene.
He needs help.
So, we'll miss what the play is about. It might be a blessing. I never minded people coming in late. Just didn't like when they left early.
Spoken like an ex-actress.
There's no such thing. You know, if we get the lights, we'll be there in 20.
The whole evening's less than an hour. No one can sit still anymore. Someday each theater seat will have its own remote, so people will be able to change plays or fast forward right through the cliches.
You afraid you're going to miss her entrance?
Can we please just get there before the reviews come out?
Is it me? Don't you really want to know?
Know what?
Why Julian called? How he's doing?
The truth?
Try it once.
The truth, my dear, is somewhere in this world there's a huge gray rat whose cheese-ridden ass I care maybe 10 times more about than what dear Julian may or may not be doing at this particular time.
Nice.
All I know is he's made us potentially a half an hour late. And counting. And that's without parking. If we can even find a space in the structure, which when you do, starts at a minimum of $12.
Did you think it was going to stay in 1970 forever?
In 1970, I had a very different future in mind. It was a lot cheaper, far less crowded, and we got to where we were going when we agreed we were supposed to.
Didn't get much work done today, right?
I got a lot of work done today. I wrote almost the entire second movement before I realized Leonard Bernstein wrote it first. Beware of ideas that come to you whole and complete. What?
Nothing.
Except?
How do you know what scene they're going to be in the middle of when we get there? Have you been running lines with someone?
I read the play.
Where'd you get it?
I read the published version.
Since when do you read plays before we go see them?
Since every actor in the world started mumbling.
Where's it?
Since every actor in the world... Very funny.
I think maybe you're hearing mumbles, or not hearing them as the case may be.
We took the same hearing test last week. My hearing's fine. I could hear you flunking yours in the next office.
Yeah, yours is completely selective. You only hear what you want to hear.
Well, I like everyone else. And about Marla, you know good and well that I haven't seen from her nor heard from her since we both ran into her at Jerry Politaska Park.
There've been no phone calls.
No phone calls, no emails, no tom-toms, no smoke signals, no carry pigeons. For God's sake, is it impossible to go 24 hours without getting into her?
You tell me.
Look, it's as over as I've said over and over it is. Every last precious bit of me is yours alone as it can be. Are you ready?
So I can understand.
One post-mortem for the road.
What did she mean to you? I mean, really? What was it? The lure of the hunt, the thrill of coming to someone whole and new, flawless? The pleasure of a never-before lied to, clean slate?
Whatever it was, the past is exactly the right tense.
Yeah, you're a little rusty at believing, you know.
Such a drag going to the theater in L.A.
Just say the word. We've got meatloaf.
I detest putting on a tie when the sun's still up.
Nobody's making you wear one.
I want to wear a tie when I go to the theater. It's generational. I'm stuck. Did you notice at her funeral how many guys didn't wear one?
Herb must have been furious.
Arnie Ross is too. Somebody dies these days and people get dressed for demolition derbies.
You're the one who doesn't like to put a tie on when the sun is still up.
For a play. This is death we're talking about. It's a sign of respect.
It's a sign of being uncomfortable.
Life is uncomfortable.
Nothing is fun for you anymore unless it's tortured.
Save the gratuitous therapy for the car, okay? I want everyone wearing a tie when I go, including me.
I'll make a note. 2 seconds.
You don't need a watch, ever.
No, I just hope she's playing a Nazi.
It's a play about Thomas Edison. I don't think there were many Nazis in general.
I swear, if we didn't have to meet the Bergman subscription or no.
Make those fine with me.
So, you're not the least bit curious? You don't want to know how Julian is?
I assume Julian is just peachy.
Why would you assume that?
Because if he weren't, we wouldn't be on our way to see half a play. Fine, fine, fine. Give me the update. Give me the daily, hourly Julian report.
The doctors are releasing him tomorrow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When did he have his thingy?
2 weeks ago. And are you ever going to get over your talent for denial? What Julian had wasn't a thingy. What Julian had was a stroke. Well, a mini stroke, to be exact.
2 weeks for a stroke is pretty good, isn't it?
He said he's not 100% really yet.
Doctor says you can go. You get the hell out of there. They kept Hal Kramer's seat way longer than they should have when he had his, his cancer prostate thing.
Don't remind me, I remember.
His legs got so wobbly, he kept flopping to the floor. What an oozing, dripping mistake that was.
Thank you very much.
He was like an old cucumber when they buried him. He died like a Russian sausage.
Would you stop dwelling on it?
Well, make up your mind. You can have dwelling, you can have denying. All I'm saying is Julian's better off in his condo than he is lying around Cedars.
In his condo? In the shape that he's in? Are you serious?
Why? Is it some kind of Eskimo association where you get old and sick, they send you out on the ice?
You've seen his place.
I've never had the pleasure.
It's like a tomb. He hasn't got one single window that faces the sun.
Well, why can't he stay with Billy and Barbara?
Oh, like they've suddenly got the room. Oh, and with the boys going through their wild Indian
I
phase.
find it hard to believe Billy can't accommodate his own father.
In the middle of the remodeling job that they're in the middle of, which incidentally, I told them we're gonna help out on some of the overruns.
I was wondering when that topic was going to stop hiding in the bushes. Wish I got the bill for yesterday.
Somehow, Julian living in the middle of a construction site is not exactly what his doctor had in mind for him.
Can we finally go, please?
You know what I was thinking?
Well, that would certainly be a first.
I was thinking he could stay with us.
Who? Julian?
Julian.
We'd have him stay with us.
Yeah, that's right.
Which car were you thinking he'd sleep in?
Don't be silly.
You first, okay? Where could he possibly stay?
When's the last time you used the game room that you just had to have so badly? I fixed it up for you. A couple coats of paint, and we could turn that into a doll of a guest room.
Billy's contractor could probably do it in a couple of hours.
3. You gave me an estimate.
No way, Nora, forget it.
It would only be for a couple of weeks, babe. That's all Julian needs.
He told you that?
His doctors did.
You talked to Julian's doctors.
Last week.
Last week, how long have you been consulting on this case?
from the day he went into Cedars. Billy wasn't visiting him as often as he could have, which is fine, Billy being Billy, but somebody had to take charge.
He didn't say one word to me about it.
I don't want to disturb you.
It's okay to do it now. Nora, look. Now I do have to finish that piece that I just got the grant for. I have to score 2 movies, both at the same time.
You'll just do what you have to do, that's all. You always do.
There's always, and there's always.
Oh, sweetheart. Where else in the world can Julian turn to for the kind of hand, God forbid, anyone should ever find in need of?
You don't owe him this. I certainly don't.
Well, there's no owing anyone anything. Decent act doesn't need an excuse. Look, we're only talking a few weeks here, then he's willing to sell his condo and move into that new assisted living place in Santa Monica.
What new assisted living place?
It used to be in Charles Lawton's estate. They called it the Bounty House. Penny Siegel did the interiors. Oh, she did a beautiful job.
You've been there.
Are they just going to dump him somewhere sight unseen?
Are you
Penny
also,
gave me $1 million tour.
are you also taking flying lessons, running for president, or building an ark? What else is going on in my head? I'm totally clueless about.
I just thought that our house could serve as a kind of an airlock while Julian recuperates.
An airlock. I'll be emptying bedpans in an airlock.
You won't be emptying anything. He'll have a professional caregiver.
And this professional bedpan engineer will be provided by,
An agency
with whom you've already made the arrangement.
with whom I've been in preliminary contact. If a thing is worth doing, it's worth doing well. Isn't that what you always say?
And just who's going to pay for all these well-done deeds?
Well, we're certainly going to help out, aren't we?
I guess we certainly are. Quite clearly we are. Am I mistaken? Isn't Julian a wealthy man?
Nobody is wealthy anymore.
That I know. I was one of the pioneers in that movement.
Look, this is a conversation we can have when we have it. Number one, for a start, is just getting him settled in.
No matter how much it upsets the order of life as we know it.
Lee, put yourself in his place.
You're asking if he can be in my place. Why would I put myself in his? Okay. Julian can come stay with us.
Thank you, sweetheart.
But only because he's your ex-husband.
Great.
Oh, while you're in the bedroom, bring down your father's robe, the tartan.
The plaid one?
Yes, Billy, the plaid tartan. It's on his hassock footstool.
Right.
Oh, and collect whatever he's got on top of his nightstand, book-wise.
Right.
Especially his Reader's Digest and, his magic markers and his Post-its.
What about his DVDs? He really enjoyed the Holocaust I got him last Christmas.
No, Lee, he said he had enough TV in the hospital. The truth is, he falls asleep anyway. Even before the stroke, he hasn't seen the last hour and a half of anything in years.
What else up there?
His navy blue tracksuit. Look on the back of the chairs. To your father, every chair has become a closet.
The blue one with the white stripes?
Yeah, he looks very handsome in it. Well, anything blue, in fact. Your father's always been an extremely attractive man.
Mom, is Lee okay with this, with Pop moving in with you guys?
100%.
You sure?
Your father made that an absolute condition. Lee had to give his okay, or there was no way he would consider moving in with us. There's one thing Julian Cowan is a stubborn mule about. It's his pride.
You know what he said? He said you're taking Pop in because of your guilt.
Lee said that?
Because, you know, you leaving Dad for him.
As right as he is, that's how wrong he is. I left your father for me, not for anybody else. Can someone only do a good deed because someone else thinks you did a bad one? Which I am not for 1 minute saying my leaving your father was.
Do you still love him at all?
Who are we talking about? Your father, Julian?
Even a little.
No, not romantically, I don't. I'll always love that time when I did. A divorce is not a lobotomy, Billy.
Right.
Oh, don't forget his aftershave. Yeah, I got Sachs to order him some more.
Right.
What?
This place, I don't know if I should say it.
Say it.
It's such kind of, I don't know.
Shithouse.
I wish we see him live here.
That's why starting tomorrow, he's not going to be here 1 day more.
Was it really that awful?
Oh, transient ischemic, according to your father's heart man. Now, he said if you're going to have one, it's the Rolls Royce of strokes.
I mean, being married to Pop.
What happened, Billy. There's a reason it's called the past, you know?
Right. We'll be back down in a day or two.
I know. It's a lot. I want him to feel at home. Oh, Billy.
What? You want me to bring down his bathtub, his toilet seat? What?
There's no need for that.
I'm sorry. I am. What?
I just want to say, tomorrow night, after they let your father go, why don't you and Barbara come to the house for dinner? Oh, the boys too. If they could use each other as punching bags for 5 minutes.
Fine, good, we'll come. It'll probably just be me though.
No, bring everybody. A little ruckus will pep them up. Why are you doing that again?
What?
That nervous thing you used to do with your hair.
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Billy, the truth.
Barbara's having an affair.
Get out of here.
She is, Mom. I saw her.
You couldn't have.
I saw them both.
You saw Barbara and someone together?
I sure as hell did.
Wait, what now? Like having coffee, that kind of thing?
No, Mom, having sex. That kind of thing.
Sex? Are you sure that's what they were doing?
What else looks like that?
That is sickening.
Trust me, they didn't seem to think so.
Oh, where did this happen? Where were they doing it?
On the floor.
On the floor?
On the floor.
On what floor?
On the floor in our den.
And your den in your own house?
That's right.
Wait, you saw them, they were on the floor, and they were doing it to each other?
Screwing each other's brains out.
On the Berber?
On the burner.
That is disgusting.
You think?
That carpeting was a wedding present from me and Lee.
Well, she's getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. Loads.
What happened? What did she say?
All I heard was her moaning.
No, I knew when you told her you saw her.
I didn't tell her I did.
What are you talking about? You didn't talk to her?
No.
Stop that. How could you not have said something? Anything?
I don't know if I could without throwing up.
Have you told your father?
It only happened yesterday.
Take my advice, don't. His heart is on one leg as it is. He doesn't need this kind of news now.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Lee either.
Lee? Why?
He always said Barbara would do this kind of thing sooner or later. I don't want to give him the satisfaction.
Lee said that Barbara would cheat on you?
More than once.
Oh, where would he get that kind of idea?
I don't know. He said he knew the look.
Sure he does.
Meaning?
Meaning, never mind. So, well, how did you catch them at it? Did you just happen to walk in and surprise them?
Yesterday, I got a lift home from work with my car still in the shop. And I'm not more than 2 steps into the front hall, and there they are, big as life, going to town all over the closed circuit.
the closed circuit.
That's right.
Since when do you have closed circuit?
Barbara wanted it installed. It's part of a remodel. It's for security.
You never told me you were doing that.
He only put it in last week.
Who put it in?
The guy who's been putting it into Barbara.
She's having an affair with the contractor.
Can you believe it?
Well, how long has this been going on?
Months!
Months.
He's a contractor!
So now,
So now, what now?
tell me what you're gonna do about it.
I don't know. Nothing, I guess?
Nothing? That's your master plan. Nothing?
I'm just gonna let it run its course. What else can I do?
The woman's ass is covered in rug burns. There's omelet all over your face, and you're just gonna let it run its course?
You want me to get down on my knees? You want me to beg her to stop? No way, forget it!
Hey, stop yelling at your mother!
I'm sorry!
I'm not the one who spread out all over the Burberbilly.
I said I'm sorry.
All right. Let's work this out now, step by step.
Like how?
The first thing is you talk to her.
Never! And say what?
Well, for openers, gotta know that you know. You've got to find out for sure how long she and this rat have been keeping company. For all you know, this floor business could have been a one-shot thing.
Not from the way they were going out.
Okay, all right. Then you've got to get tough. You got to really lay it on her. You got to tell her that you're both going to start going to counseling.
No, sir, I'm not starting with the counselor.
Everybody sees one sooner or later.
Never again. I still remember the guy you sent me to down in the valley when you and Pop broke up. The one with the gross breath and the Disney action figures.
He was a child psychologist, Lily. You're not going this time because someone tried to touch your pee-pee.
I'm not doing it. I can handle this myself.
To save your marriage, you won't try it just once?
So I could sit there and listen to everything I've done wrong.
Who said you've done anything wrong?
Barbara will. She'll say I'm not romantic. She'll say I want it too often. She'll say I don't want it enough. She'll make me sound as if I'm two different people than who I am.
You let this fester. It'll eat you alive.
I don't want to have that conversation. I don't even want to have this one.
Your marriage means nothing at all to you. Is that what you're saying?
My marriage means everything to me. That's why I'm not going to cut it open with a freaking chainsaw and have to make it run around someone's office with its guts falling out. I didn't come talk to you about what's going on in my life so that you could send me to somebody that I can talk about it to. I just wanted a little sympathy, that's all.
Well, that you've got. You've always got that. You know that. But listen to me, sweetheart. If you do nothing but let this thing run its course, it might just run its course right out the front door and with all its bags packed.
Like you did?
I am not on trial here. Well, maybe in Lee's mind I might be, but I certainly am not in my own.
You went your separate way, I'll go my separate.
Oh, and the boys?
This boy turned out just fine.
And that if you're not careful, you're gonna wind up looking like a plucked chicken. Face this, Billy. Don't bury it. You go home and you talk to her.
What if she doesn't want to?
Ask her again. Well, let her know that you at least tried to turn things around, that she's valuable enough to you that you want to hold on to her forever. Oh, darling boy. For me.
All right, okay.
Better, right? Rest. Relax.
Good luck.
Don't forget Dad's album.
I will.
Ooh.
Well, Pop took that.
I know.
That's the pony that threw me.
Yeah, I remember.
What was I, like 4 years old?
Uh-huh. I hope they made glue out of the dirty little bastard.
you doing back there?
Terrific. Best day of my life.
Never fails when you can't see the hills sometimes, you know? Bigger than life, we can't see it with all the sludge on it. When I first moved to LA, back when the West Coast was still like a secret, every day was crystal. Like restaurants used to give away free orange juice. They were so anxious to get rid of the goddamn things.
Can I tell you something?
Of course, Julian.
We don't need to talk.
Strictly your call.
Not saying it to be rude.
You don't want to talk, you don't want to talk.
All I'm saying is we don't have to make conversation.
Gotcha. The next time you hear from me will be total silence.
Don't take it wrong. I appreciate all this immensely. You're letting me stay with you, etc.
I'm sure you do the same if it were the other way around.
I'm sure I would too. Because Nora would make me. Just like she's making you.
That's not true.
Did she tell you I told her in no uncertain terms she had to ask you? That she had to give you every opportunity to say no?
I had every opportunity to do that.
We were married a long time. I know how things go with her. I made it very clear going back to the condo wouldn't faze me one iota.
There's no need for that, Julian. Absolutely none.
Good. Subject of talking. The last thing we need is a lot of pointless chit-chat. Pretending what's happening is some kind of fun for either one of us.
Let me get this. Yeah.
Did you get our boy?
Yeah, I got him right here. Hold on, I'll put you on speaker.
Julian? It's Nora.
Hello, Nora.
You all right, Julian? Lee?
I say he's ready to go 10 rounds with anyone.
Julian, are you warm enough?
I'm okay.
Put the heater on, Lee. The last thing he needs now is a chill.
Nora, it's 86 degrees outside.
Lee?
Okay, I'm doing it. You two let me know if you want any warmer. I'll set the car on fire.
Listen to me, sweetheart.
What?
I was talking to Julian.
Pardon me.
I'm sorry about not picking you up at the hospital, but I forgot about the conflict with my personal trainer.
I understand.
Before I call the bed place, I want to make sure that they send the right one over. Did you decide between the Sealy and the Tempur-Pedic?
Go with the Sealy, it's good enough.
But you said the Tempur-Pedic is the top of the line.
I'm not looking to spend a fortune, Nora. The Tempur-Pedic's like 1,000 more. I'm not spending that much money just to be unconscious on.
Don't concern yourself. The bed will be our gift to you. Right, Lee?
Right.
This is not a good start.
It'll be fine.
Look, if you're going to have a stroke, Julian, you're not going to go tourist. Oh, and Lee,
Yes,
don't forget about what I told you about not taking the freeway.
I remember.
Good. Then I will see you two when you both get home. Stay out of trouble.
Going to pay you back, you know, for everything.
You don't have to, Julian.
I do, Lee, and I will.
She won't let you, you know that, but thanks for offering.
You like this gas guzzler?
I thought no small talk.
Cars are my business. Were my business. Before my heart joined up for the ischemic club. Billy gave you a good deal on your lease, right? I'm making dime one on this one.
Much appreciated, Julian. Do me a favor. Don't tell Nora I took the freeway.
Why would I? Nora still handles all the car stuff for you too.
The car, the house, our taxes. I'm in charge of the piano. She's in charge of the world.
Suits you though, right?
It's fine. I can't tell you the last time I felt like a grown-up, though.
Maybe you should just shut up about it and count your blessings.
Okay.
Believe me, the alternative is pretty miserable.
Thanks for the reminder.
I'm probably going to give my Buick to Billy.
What's your widow? See how you feel.
I was thinking in the hospital, whether I get better or if I don't. Either way, comes a time you turn off the car key in your head. How many people that old guy run over in Santa Monica last year? Up to his ass on God knows how many meds?
Killed as many as he could, I guess.
I've been driving 60 years. What's 60 times, say, 10,000 miles a year? Must be like almost 1 million.
It's a long trip.
I must be there by now, huh? Wherever I was going.
How about some music?
I'm good. Nora tells me you got a commission to write something on your own.
If I ever get past bar 12, I will.
What is it, some kind of a concerto like?
It's an elegy, actually.
Anybody I knew?
No, it's kind of a generic dirge, you know. Every time I turn around these days, I find myself speaking at the funeral du jour,
Lately, it's like they started giving death away for free.
you know? I thought I'd write a piece of music rather than standing up making one more speech. Words don't seem to cut it anymore. In fact, they ever did.
That's some talent, you know? Hearing all that stuff no one else does.
Some places it's called insanity.
As long as it pays well, right?
I guess. What can I say? I've been lucky.
You've been very lucky. Very. But you also went out and took whatever you wanted. You still do. It's a very efficient combination.
I guess I should take that as a compliment.
I never had a tenth of your moxie. If I did, I'd probably still be married to Nora.
Julian,
Answer the phone.
what do you want?
What kind of a way is that to answer the phone? What do you want?
Sorry. What do you want, darling?
Put me on speaker.
It's the mothership.
Julian,
I'm as warm as a bug in a rug.
I know how concerned you are about expenses, so I wanted to check with you before I pull the trigger with the nursing agency.
And?
Well, I interviewed a few girls, and the one I think you should go with for the daytime is called Lotus. Well, that's Lotus with an I.
Never mind the spelling lesson. What does she get?
120.
For the day?
120 an hour.
What are you, crazy?
She's worth every penny. She's got a lovely disposition.
Wouldn't we all at those prices?
You're going to need someone for the night, too, you know.
I have to pay to watch someone fall asleep before I do?
Look, I interviewed someone who came highly recommended.
By who? By Lotus with an I? What does she charge? The night girl, if the day one gets 120. Forget I even asked.
200 is the going rate.
Take the airport exit. It's cheaper driving to Lourdes.
The exit? The exit?
What the hell, Julian?
Sorry.
Lee, didn't I tell you about not taking the freeway? Especially after 3 in the afternoon.
The surface streets were jammed. I've been in the right lane the whole time.
He's driving like a soldier.
My God! You be careful with him, Lee, you hear me?
Christ, it's not like I'm bringing a baby home.
Maybe a little.
Don't think we're not going to have a little talk about this freeway business.
I bet the car on that.
Julie, what I suggest we do is we go with Lotus for the daytime and we hire the registered nurse to stay with you through the night.
Absolutely not.
If you can afford it, and we both know, you and I know that you can't, Lee and I'll help out until you get rid of the condo.
Is there a card I can sign that goes with all these gifts?
Nora, I am not some charity case.
Compassion is not charity.
Tell that to Cash. Cash doesn't know the difference.
Compassion for someone who I will always care about.
I see this scene with violins.
Julian, you have anyone else to help you at this point in your life?
Wasn't my idea to outlive everyone I knew.
Look, we don't have to solve what aren't even problems yet all in one call.
Who could keep track anymore?
Lee, was that you?
I forgot we were still on the air.
How many times have I told you? Stay off the phone when you're on the freeway.
We never saw it coming.
Who's that?
This Reader's Digest story about a guy who gets hit by a bus. That's the title.
He never saw it coming.
That's right. He was walking alone at night down the highway. He was minding his own business. He wasn't looking for trouble. He was just walking along with an eye thing in his ear.
iPod?
I said that. Pitch is black to be outside. Road is icy. By the time the bus driver made him out, the poor bastard already lost one arm and both of his legs. He dove right into therapy, though. He now teaches chess to the same inner city kids that were on the bus that hit him. Got me really thinking, that story.
No.
Got me thinking, what were you thinking that night?
The night the guy got hit by a bus?
If you were even thinking at all.
Wait a second. What are we suddenly talking about all of a sudden?
You meet a woman at a party. She's unattached, except she's got on a wedding ring, which either you ignore, or worse, you don't give a good goddamn about. Or worse than worse, you figure that makes her some kind of a door prize.
Julian, after so many years of avoiding this conversation, why are we bringing this subject up so completely out of the blue right now?
Because it's important we finally talk about it.
Who says?
The injured party says, that's it.
Excuse me, but maybe you should have filed a complaint at the time, sir.
I just didn't think about Buicks and car keys in a hospital, all right? Like it or lump it. You and I are gonna have a talk about what I want to talk about before we even get to your house.
And I'm telling you, if we do have it, we never
I
get
just
to
need
the
to
goddamn
understand
house.
how you saw the situation.
Because I'm gonna pull over and first kill you and then myself with a tire on it.
Just for once. Finally explain to me how you had absolutely no regard for what I might have felt about the situation without me having so much as one stinking inkling about it. I accept you had no regard for me. I understand it was so much easier to steal someone from someone you didn't even know. But what about Nora? She was a married woman, for God's sake. A married woman with a child, which you soon enough found out about. Did you ever once give as much as a hoot about anyone else as long as you got whatever, or whoever you wanted?
I didn't walk up the hill with a plan, Julian. I didn't wake up that morning with the idea, this is gonna be the day that changed my whole life.
How about 3 whole lives?
All it started out as was a simple conversation at a party.
But you pushed it. Just tell me if you were thinking you were doing the right thing when you pushed it.
I wasn't thinking, Julian. I was falling in love.
But I fell in love with her first! What?
Maybe a little late, but 6. Any good? The jack you've been waiting for, right? The jack of hearts. Jesus. Julian! Julian! You all right? No, don't.
What? You just discarded, didn't you?
I just knocked.
But how much?
6. Am I okay?
The Jack of Hearts?
That's the card you've been waiting for, right?
Not anymore, not. Gin!
You can't do that.
Ah!
You can't gin after someone knocks.
Who knocked?
I did.
When?
When you fell asleep.
Never, I didn't.
I saw you.
I was resting. I was waiting for you to make up your
I
mind.
did make up my mind. I went down with 6 points. You got less than that.
You would have caught me with 1,000,000 points, but I'd have ginned if you given me a chance.
Close only counts in horseshoes.
Whatever you say, Tom.
Tom?
Tom Mix. Horseshoes. What, are you a maven on those two now?
How about we just pack it in for a while, all right, Julian?
It's your bunkhouse, you call the shots. It was only playing to please you.
I think I've had more than enough pleasure for one day.
Fine.
Same time tomorrow?
Fine.
Right. Same time, same place. Or else say Guantanamo.
What did you say?
I said same time, same place.
I heard that. I meant when you said, or else at Guantanamo.
For somebody who doesn't hear very well, you could give hearing lessons. You want to watch Little Wimbledon if it's on?
They play whether I watch or not. Tell me something.
What's that?
Are you as tired as you look lately?
Could be, I don't know, maybe.
Around 3 this morning, I heard you playing the piano.
Kind of goes with the territory around here.
Is what I heard the thing you're writing?
The thing I caught, I thought I could, yeah.
The little I heard sounds like it would go over very big at a funeral.
I'm sorry if I woke you.
Everything wakes me. Sleeping wakes me. It goes with another kind of territory. Can I tell you what I thought about what I did here for what it's worth?
It's not finished yet.
Sometimes in places, the melody, you probably call it, goes up when I thought it was going to go down. Sometimes I didn't know where it was going altogether. I never knew what to expect.
It's called the element of surprise, Julian. It's not unlike life itself.
Except when you make it up. You decide what's in, you decide what's out, you get to play God, right?
So I have to take a leak, I am.
Nora tell you?
That depends on what, but the answer's probably no.
Got a call from Sonia today.
Real estate, Sonia.
She got another offer on my condo.
Another 10
Better than that, she said. The Russians want to take another look.
They do? Really?
Maybe this time, huh? Maybe.
I'm keeping everything crossed for you, Julian. I really am.
I had no idea I would be with you this long, you know. Not in my wildest dreams. What's it been? Almost 6 weeks now?
More like 10 weeks tomorrow if you care to be exact.
10 weeks? No way.
You and I have talked about this several times before, Julian.
Yeah?
We've had this entire conversation word for word.
You know my number one rule of thumb? Any conversation I don't remember, I never had in the first place.
That's a terrific rule.
Had it or not. That's how you must feel about me being with you.
However I feel, we made a deal, Julian.
This is not some nice contest. A deal is a deal, but temporary is also temporary. Getting out of your hair as soon as I get rid of this millstone of a conduct.
I know you will.
What time is your watch say?
10 to noon. Nap time?
It's not a matter of choice. You don't need me in your face wherever you look anyway.
I might try and get some work done.
At home, or will you drive to the studio?
I got a ton of stuff on behind wherever I do it.
One favor, Lee. If you don't leave the house, if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it if you didn't play the piano.
Not play the piano while I'm composing.
Is that a problem? Beethoven was deaf, you know.
Tchaikovsky was gay, so?
I was thinking especially if you're going to do any work on your elegy.
That piece bothers you?
Not just because it keeps going up when I think it's going to go down.
It's all those other pesky little notes, huh?
It's an elegy, Lee. I hardly need the reminder.
Gotcha. I'll work on something else.
There's one bright sun out today.
It is indeed.
Good night, Lee.
Good night, Julian. You know, I came home from the studio early, especially.
I know.
I was really cooking. Looked up at the clock, and I quit, like I promised to. And now here we are, nowhere. Nowhere we're supposed to be, just you and me, stuck in the middle of downtown limbo.
I'll go up and get him.
You just stay right there. Let's let Mohammed come down from the second floor for a change.
This is not like him.
Ah, he's probably falling down somewhere, and a man needs his exercise, you know?
That's cruel.
So it's wasting other people's time.
Wouldn't you eat those like a normal human being?
I'm hungry.
The Father's Day special at the club is crab cakes. You're gonna ruin your appetite.
My appetite for this farcical event was ruined way before I started eating these chocolate rabbit poops.
It's not my fault if you're stuck.
I didn't pick you, Nora. You were assigned to me by the gods.
Oh,
To help me, to teach me how to eat candy, how not to finish my
of all
work.
men in the world to pick me. Uh-huh. Let's remind you one more time. You stole me away.
I'm not stuck.
Oh,
I told you before, I was on a roll.
I
for
know
the rest of the year.
stuck when I hear stuck. Why is it only ever the good stuff that gets interrupted?
The bad shit doesn't need me. Bad shit writes itself. What I am fighting, my dear, is the goddamn calendar. Whatever scraps are left of my former concentration, which have been shot to hell, thanks to the half a dozen daily dramas starring, we both know exactly who.
You'll finish.
I don't know. For the first time in my life, I may go belly up with the keyboard. You let yourself get dragged far enough away from a piece, you can lose your way back, it happens.
You know, as frightfully important as your work is,
Paid the bills for all the years that I can remember. Has that been a problem for you? I didn't think so.
there are also these things in our lives, these little things called people. They're not eighth notes or triplets or abstract ideas. They are real as hell people are. And the only deadlines they really care about are their own. And as much as they sometimes get selfishly ill, thoughtlessly old, or they heal at the slow, cosmically insulting rate that they heal.
Or they don't. Sometimes they just settle in and get a little too used to being waited on hand and foot.
You know, I'm going up. Maybe Lotus can use a hand with him.
Lotus is more than capable at her job.
Oh, she is from heaven, that woman. You ever seen her give Julian a bath?
I can't tell you how many times I fought the urge to sneak in and watch.
The way she sponges him down and oils him, so gentle, so caring.
Must be like working on this dead sea scrolls.
Tell me you don't wish somebody treated you like that.
I could have had a stroke, I turned it down.
Why are you eating this trash when you know we're about to go have an actual meal?
Because so far we're not. In all probability, we never will. We're going to stand here for at least another hour. That hour will turn into 2, and then tomorrow will be followed by tomorrow night. And weeks from now, this is where they'll find us, dead in our own living room. Dead in our own Beverly Hills Donna past.
Please.
And when the TV crews descend upon the place to see who ate the other one first, Julie will finally come walking down the stairs on all 3 of his legs like a cow-dooded jello that he is.
Don't think he doesn't notice.
Doesn't notice what?
You don't think it's painfully obvious how you go out of your way to avoid him?
That's not true.
When was the last time you sat down with him and actually talked to him?
I talk to Julian all the
No,
time.
I'm not saying rushing past him with a perfunctory "how you doing," without even looking his way.
It's not perfunctory. I always make it a point of feigning very deep interest.
You know, aside from a few half-hearted, half-finished gin games, when was the last time you actually asked him how he was doing and cared 2 cents worth whether he got an answer or not?
Oh, to tell you the God's honest truth, I don't have some kind of built-in give-a-shitometer. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you, never is exactly how often you've spoken to him, man to man, person to person, since the day he moved in here.
I get it.
You get what?
I get it. This is something Julian whined to you about.
Unlike some people who I happen to be speaking to at this very moment, Julian has never been a whiner.
Ex-love is also blind, huh? Maybe a little deaf, too?
Nobody likes feeling like they're not really there.
Really? I never would have known.
You're feeling neglected?
Between you taking him on trips to home medical towers filled with more scanners than anybody's come up with a disease for, plus all the memory lane mileage you two pile up looking at his album full of fading Polaroids, just a little, missus, maybe just a little.
I can't believe this. Julian and I once had a life together. We had a child together.
Oh, I know that child very well. I straightened that child's teeth. I paid through my own teeth to put that little child's little ass on one private school bus after another. All the years, Julian never once kicked in the child support he was supposed to.
Is there any part of the past that you are not above dredging up?
That's what the past's for. Can't dredge up the future, you know.
This is so entirely not the time for this kind of carping.
Tell me your hours. I can come back.
For God's sakes, Lee, the man is sick.
Sick. The man is a walking sneak preview of death. The chill of the grave rolls off him in waves.
No, I have to tell you, I never would have asked if he could stay with us. Never!
You asked me? The only reason you asked me is because you know I'm a complete and utter pushover for doing whatever the hell you want.
Oh, yeah, among the countless others too numerous to mention.
Oh, don't open a second front on me, okay? Look, we talked about Julian being with us for a little while. I'd say 8 months is a little north of Little Wild Country, wouldn't you? There's also talk about an airlock, I believe. Or did I imagine that too?
Well, the idea that he's been here anywhere near 8 months is preposterous.
Are we on different calendars now? Check it out. Tomorrow, with my luck, there will be one. Tomorrow will be exactly 8 months since we began our little menage a trois in the ass.
You've been counting the days.
Not at all. I stopped counting the days when they turned into weeks and then into months, which adds up tomorrow to 8 of the goddamn things.
We signed up to help the man get better.
Oh, don't taunt me with visions of that delicious, unattainable past tense. I cannot wait to look back fondly on all the colonoscopies, all the pet and cat results, to that glorious era when every breakfast, lunch, and dinner was devoted to a medical flowchart, or one more chance to mull over one more pathetically tentative offer on that infinitely unsellable condo of his. Just think, these torturous moments will turn out to be the good old days, and me like an idiot, I'm taking them all for granted.
You know what?
Probably not. What?
If it's so hard for you to deal with the fact that somebody else's needs supersede your own for a few short months, why don't you just go and cry on What's-Her-Face's shoulder for a little while?
If you're talking about Marla...
Would you keep your voice down?
Oh, afraid our ex-husband-in-law will hear?
If he hasn't already.
You didn't tell him?
I've had all the embarrassment I can handle, thank you.
The truth is, I would consider talking to her if I could, but as it turns out, she's out of town.
How do you know?
I read it on the front page of the entertainment section of the FNLA Times. Will you kindly lose the panic tone?
What did it say?
The play moved to New York. It opens next week. She's back there with it. But I'm greatly appreciative of you thinking of my needs for maybe the 10th of a second that you did. And by the way, I never spent 1 minute when I was with her crying on her shoulder.
I have zero interest in whatever part you might have cried on.
I spent whatever time I did because it was a palpable relief being with someone who could possibly admit that even for 1 second she could possibly be wrong.
Oh, and what is it that I won't admit to that I am so wrong about?
How about the real reason you're marching around so full of noble purpose all this time is because you're trying to make up to Julia for having left it for me?
Is that what you think?
That's what I know.
Oh, how quickly we forget.
Forget what?
You stole me away!
I stole you?
Oh, well, let's rewind one more time, shall we? Me, a perfectly contented wife with a husband out of town, standing alone at the punch bowl at Bernie and Fran's. You, fresh from New York, scoping the party out, then sauntering over to join me.
I never sauntered in my life.
Bullshit.
I was getting a canapé, you were blocking the way.
You were checking out my ass.
That's true.
And when I turned around, you checked out the rest.
I checked out everyone in those days.
Still do, as long as everyone is anyone but me.
But come on, admit it. You feel guilty?
I feel no such thing.
Not the teeniest, tiniest bit.
Would you stop trying to make me feel as though I'm allowed one phone call to my lawyer, okay? I did nothing at all. I was a perfectly happily married woman, caught up in the grips of a great romancer.
So, it was all me.
Oh, I came along for the ride, but yes, it was mostly you.
Me and my irresistible charm.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, I know, given the way you're behaving now, but yes, I was powerless in your thrall.
Got a thrall now.
Did back then. Now all you've got is a bad attitude and a mouthful of rabbit turds. Oh, Julian. You all right?
Sorry I kept you.
Oh, we put the time to good use.
On the phone with Sonia.
Saint Sonia, Our Lady of the Tentative Offer?
Not anymore, she isn't. You want the good news or the good news?
Any kind will do, Julian, any kind of good news at all.
The Russians just called her. They've upped their offer.
For the condo?
You got it.
Up to what?
You ready? They've gone up to $1.3 million.
1,300,000?
That's what she said.
God damn, Julian. Congratulations.
That's fantastic.
Fantastic. It's amazing. It's sensational.
It's a step.
A step. Julian, it's Mount Everest.
At least.
How much did you pay for that place originally? $30,000?
$37.5. But that was when money had meaning.
I got news for you. Money's making a comeback.
Told you they go higher, didn't I say?
Absolutely you did.
I knew they were lowballing me.
You called it, sweetheart.
They were lowballing me then, and they're lowballing me now.
Excuse me?
You'll see. In a couple of weeks, they'll come up from there. It never hurts to squeeze them a little.
Julian!
He may be right, you know.
I haven't lost it altogether.
Whoever said you did?
Are you people kidding me?
It's worth a try.
Jesus, jumping
And
Christ!
if he could get more for the place, why shouldn't he?
Nora, we're talking about a 1,600 square foot, one bedroom shit box. Do you honestly think you're gonna do better than $1.3 million in today's market?
Taking a beat is the only way to find out.
Pete.
I just want to wait out a little while longer, that's all.
A little while longer. I got your beat right here, Julian.
Plus, switch, I need a little more time to check out the tax ramifications.
Tax ramifications. The tax ramifications are all gonna ramification up your ass. If you don't sell your place and get the hell out of mine.
Lee!
It could be the income is more than I should be taking
Oh my
in
God.
any one calendar year is all.
Stop! Both of you.
You stop. I can't believe you're entertaining this idiocy.
Hey, settle down, okay? Let's have a little tone here.
I'm sorry, Julia. I ran out of tippy toes weeks ago, months ago. You know what? Go ahead, do it, whatever the hell you want. And not that you need my permission, but you feel free to. Go for it, the both of you.
I just want my accountant to check it out.
You do that, Julian. It may very well be that you don't want that much money coming in next year, or the year after that. Or maybe you shouldn't even take that offer in this lifetime.
Where are you going?
To get the other car.
It's silly not to go together.
I'm not going where you're going, Nora.
You're not coming to breakfast?
Not to breakfast, not to lunch, not to dinner. I'm afraid I've watched the last changing of the Filipino God every breakfast too.
But it's Father's Day, sweetheart.
Perfect. Bring the millionaire.
You know how so completely unlike you this is.
Maybe it's the guy you think I am. I'm being so completely unlike.
Just get in the car and you and I will talk about this later.
Haven't you noticed, Laura? Later keeps getting later and later around here. Well, from now on, it could get as later as it wants, but without me, I'm done.
Don't do this, Lee. Please.
Careful. Julia may think there's something going on between us.
I'll stay home if it'll make you feel better.
Home? Do I look like someone who'll drive a man out of his own house?
Don't get physical.
Give me a break. I'm sorry, Julian. I'm sorry I stole Nora away from you, okay? There, I finally said.
Thank you, Lee.
I'm sorry I stole your wife. I'm sorry I stole your life. Seems I'm the one who feels guilty, right?
Guilty about what?
Name something. Spent a lifetime feeding that addiction. Here. I had absolutely no right to ever come between the two of you.
I don't want your keys.
Yeah, this is to the SUV, the one you're not making a dime on. This is to the house. This is to the shed in the back where we keep the boys' pool toys.
What's this one for?
Julian.
I'm just asking. It's a funny little key.
That's the key to my safety deposit box, where I keep the love letters Nora sent to me all the time she was married to you, under a half-inch of very romantic dust. You two can read them together some night when you take a break from mooning over the snapshots of how Cosmopolitan magazine happy you were before the big bad wolf came along, okay? Enjoy. Fuck off.
That's a lady you're talking to, Buster.
Oh, you're gonna love this guy all over again.
Where are you going? Oh, don't tell me. New York.
Still? Now? That part of my life is as over as this one. ready for the final blow? I'm gonna get in the car, and I'm gonna take the freeway. And I'm gonna drive all the way in reverse till I can get to my office. We're gonna hold up until I can find a place of my own. Hopefully the one that doesn't reek of destiny.
Oh, you won't be happy there.
What's the difference where I'm not? The important thing is I can let you give Julian back to forever. You always thought you stole from him. You can cuddle and coddle him and mark and clock the oh-so-gentle shifts in coloration accumulated in his ever-increasing and already countless pit stops. You can do whatever it takes to finally make you feel better about having left him for the master trollmeister.
Yelling is bad for me.
Shut up, Julian. Volume is all I've got left. She's all yours, okay? She's all yours. Take two.
I'll sell the condo. Get Sonia on the phone, I'll sell.
No, never mind. It's too late.
I'm sorry, Nora. Truly.
Happy Father's Day, Julian.
I'm downstairs at Lee's building.
Are you up for this?
I'm a lousy liar.
Just push 3G. He'll buzz you in.
Right.
And Billy,
Yeah.
sometimes lying is the best thing you can do for someone.
Hello?
Billy the Kid,
Are you ready?
I'm starving and a half. I've been at the piano since 5 this morning.
Ick.
Breakfast was a pack of smoked almonds left over from Kitty Hawk. Bachelor makes do, right?
Or he doesn't. How's the work coming along?
To your ears only, without your mother interrupting me, I'm finding it hard to get anything done. You want a sweater? A little nippy.
You sound like Mom.
Personalities are adhesive. Family that sticks together, literally sticks together. Let me set the alarm.
Lee, are you happy here?
Don't knock alone. There's something to be said for living with neighbors you're not married to or ever were. I'm the elder, buddy.
We're not going where you think you're going.
I don't follow.
We're going to your house.
What do you mean, my house? Your mother's house?
We're going to the house you used to, ought to, and are going to move back into. That house. That's right.
You lied
Not exactly.
to me. You didn't call and say, let's have lunch?
And we're going to. Lotus is making that the Filipino stuff you love, the lumpia egg rolls.
Was this the plan when you called?
There was no plan.
You're lying, Bill.
I'm not.
You don't think I don't know the signs? The minute you walked in here, you've been plucking at your hair like you promised somebody you're going to be bald by midnight. You're lying your head off, literally.
Only because Mom told me to.
When are you going to learn? You have to save that woman from herself. Think about it, okay? Have I ever, even once, ever lied to you since the day we met?
Not to me, no, but you must have told your share of them, otherwise you and I would have never been together in the first place.
You know what, Your Honor? Get the hell out of here. Take a hike, I mean, Bill.
Don't call me Bill. You only call me that when you're mad at me.
How about I'm furious with you?
And how bad I am with you.
With me?
With all of you. Enough is enough. You, Mom, and Dad are just gonna have to figure out how to live under the same goddamn roof again.
Listen to me, Bill. I have no interest whatsoever in the three of us figuring out how can we become a better couple or throuple or whatever the hell it is we finally morphed into being. Like that old English teacher, flunk you, once said to me, I'm sorry, sir, I gave it my best.
You guys don't get it, do you? This is my time to be a mess. You're all supposed to be sitting in nursing homes, shitting your diapers and singing Jingle Bells in July. Instead, you're all too busy stirring up old crap up that there's not a day that goes by and not one of you gives me a call, bitch about the other two. It's like freaking high school.
I'm sorry we're all such a drag on you.
You should be, goddammit.
How about if we die? Would that help? I'd be glad to put at least two of us out of the misery.
What I need for you is to live like the adults I've always needed you to be. I'm going through the absolutely worst time of my life, and instead of being free to deal with my own problems, I'm busy housebreaking a litter of 3 completely fucked up puppies.
What do you mean the absolute worst time in your life?
I'm getting a divorce.
Jeez, Billy.
Don't tell Mom, okay?
Your mom being your mom, I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet she's gonna find out, don't you?
I'm gonna tell her I will, just not yet.
I thought you and Barbara were seeing a counselor.
Mom told you,
Of course she told me. She told me the minute she got home the day you told her not to.
and you're gonna tell her I'm getting divorced, aren't you? God damn it! I know you're gonna tell her, even if you give me your word you won't. Especially if you give me your word you won't, you will.
Counseling didn't help.
We didn't go to any. I told her that we would, but we didn't. You're not supposed to know that.
I'm getting hard to remember all the things I don't. And why didn't you see one, may I ask?
I didn't want to go. I figured if Barbara wants out, the hell with it.
Can I make one suggestion?
You can suggest all you want. I filed yesterday. It's over. In 6 months, we'll be free. She'll be free.
Maybe she doesn't want it to be.
How many ways do you want to have it, Lee?
Me?
You're the one that said Barbara was the type, remember?
I never said she was the type.
You said you knew the look.
I do know the look, and she is the type. But do you want this marriage to end? Ending is really ending, you know?
Over's likewise over.
Don't you find yourself wishing things were how they were? Don't you feel there's something missing you'd love to have back in your life again?
What are you making a case for? Mom got a divorce when she met you. These things happen.
Well, we're standing now. I know they don't always have to.
You make it sound like you and Mom were on a mistake.
Maybe I meant for things to turn out a whole lot better than they did. And maybe I kept searching for something I already had. The night we met.
What? This was the party.
Yeah. Fran and Bernie Michaels.
He was a lawyer, you told me.
Yeah. Showbiz mostly. Bernie was smart, fast, top of the line. Atticus Finch on speed. Fran had the first breast reduction and now a zip code.
And they're both dead now?
Yeah, they went a month apart. First her than him, I did the eulogies.
Was it one of those, she was the love of his life and when she died he just quietly slipped away type deals?
Not quite. Fran killed herself on an inland cruise to Alaska.
Why? Does anyone know?
Bernie Michaels would have stuck it in a changed purse, a keyhole, anything. The cruise was meant to be the second honeymoon. He always promised Fran every time she found lipstick on his boxers. Second day out, he started with a girl from San Diego.
A girl?
In her 60s. Not that much to look at when I heard it, too.
Then why?
I don't know, the lure of the hunt, the thrill of the unknown, the idea of coming to someone with a flawless, clean slate. Didn't take Fran long to find out, it never did. She didn't say boom. Last night out, she left him at the blackjack table, went back to their cabin and swallowed half a drugstore.
Sad.
Go figure. Someone who looked so great in tennis shorts.
How did he take it?
Bernie was destroyed. Cheating's no fun when there's no one to cheat on. Anyhow, back then, Fran used to throw these great parties, so she could keep an eye on his wandering.
Is that Mom in the corner?
That's her.
And the skinny guy next to her?
I could use that blazer as a lamp base now.
Where's Pop?
Your father's in Detroit.
Who's that?
My date.
Pretty.
Pretty strange. Judith Klein. Judy.
Strange how?
Sex made her feel guilty. Every time we made out in that place I rented whenever I came out here from New York, the minute her guilt kicked in, she'd hop out of the sack and start in cleaning.
Cleaning?
Vacuuming, dusting, she'd change the linen, she'd wax the floor, whatever it took to make her stop feeling dirty.
Not the worst hang up ever, I guess.
You kidding? She used to save me a fortune.
So you showed up with Judy?
In my freshly washed car. And then I saw her. crowded room. I saw those big, brown, beautiful eyes.
Like the song?
Like the song. Just like the song. That first look was so inevitable, so indelible. Still plays in my head like a freeze frame. One look and I felt as though I'd found a part of me I never knew was missing. 20 minutes later, we were on the floor, locked in Fran's walk-in closet.
Making out?
Talking, finishing each other's sentences, sharing memories, a way that we were starting a new one from scratch. You know that feeling two people get when inside that invisible vibrating space?
It sounds like a movie.
Felt like one. Your mother even scored it.
She what?
She knew I was composing. That was 2 brownie points right off the bat. Composing music, movie scores is a hell of a lot more exotic than the car leasing business. No offense.
Tell me about it.
She called me the next day. She sang me a song over the phone. She said a ballad she'd written the minute she got home from the park.
I didn't know she could do that.
She didn't. A couple of nights later, I heard it on the radio.
The same song?
Note for note, word for word.
Mom saw me on the air?
Wasn't her song.
She lied to you?
Completely. And knowing from talking to her that lying really wasn't her thing, I knew how important it was for us to be together. It actually sealed the deal in a strange way.
She wanted you to want you.
She had no idea how automatic the feeling had been.
So then?
And then we had an affair. Damn it, I'm never going to tell you that.
The affair for how long?
Almost 2 years.
And Dad never knew?
He always said he didn't. I believe him. It made things easy, I guess. Harder, too.
How did you find out?
Your mom finally told him, little by agonizing little.
I think it shut him down.
It ended him, really. That's why you've got the slightest desire to reach over at night and wrap yourself around Barbara and only her. You've got to give yourselves another chance. Your mom was completely, totally in love with me in the beginning. Never been that simple ever since, not for her, not for me. Certainly not from your dad. Sure wishes he tried a whole lot harder to hold on to the life that he had. God knows their breakup gave you your share of collateral damage, but don't add to the shrapnel, Billy. Give it another chance at home. You deserve a better future.
Only if you let me take you to your house for lunch. That's the deal. I'm sorry. That's the deal.
Lumpia, huh?
Fresh made. Each one a killer from Manila.
Let me set the alarm. We're out of here.
Lee,
We only got 60 seconds.
you said Mom's eyes were brown when you first met her,
And what?
but they're green as yours are.
Now they're green. Back then they were brown.
They changed colors?
Over the years, they did, yeah.
How's that possible?
Possible doesn't enter into it. Like I said, pal, adhesive. Must have every Reader's Digest ever written.
Throw them out, Nora'd say. How could you throw out old friends that you know on every page?
You don't have to do this, Julian.
This should cover everything. If not, you know where I'll be.
This is not going to make her happy.
Who is she to always be happy?
You're as good as your word.
You ever thought this day would come, I bet.
That thought did cross my mind. You really don't have to go, Julian.
Could you deprive me of the pleasure of an assisted existence? Pleasures of watching the waves of homeless people humping under the palms?
How's your nose?
It'll live. If anyone asks, I'll say I had a little work done on it.
Can't tell you how sorry I am about what happened at lunch last week. Whatever it was that got into me that made it all turn so ugly.
What's the big mystery? For putting up with me so long, I finally got into you. Comes a time when a year is just so much petty cash. The older you get, it's like the good years forgot your address. Never mind the bad ones, they never know when to leave at all. Marriage is a tough enough proposition for two people. Throw another set of feelings in the mix, pretty soon you start to get homesick for the life you used to think was impossible.
Still, I shouldn't have had so much wine.
Don't worry about it. Has the woman ever been on time? Ever? For anything?
It helps feeling nothing really starts till you get
In her case, who can blame her? Even stuff I've read I don't know how many times over. I never can wait to find out what happens next. Now it's my next chapter I haven't got a clue about.
That's not.
Right off the button.
This is wrong, Julian. I can't tell you how wrong it is.
Trust me, Nora, I'm a professor in wrong. But I know this is right for me. The minute they load in my bed, I'll be a free man again.
But in your heart of hearts, you know this is a mistake.
So I'll learn. Got my whole life ahead of me. I'm only 73.
What you are is stubborn, stubborn, stubborn.
And lucky, you're the receptionist. Mine is the last apartment with a window on the beach. They're going like hotcakes. Must be old geezers all over town seeking asylum from vase-throwing second husbands. Who knew?
That was so unlike him.
In vino veritas. The truth made him blow like a volcano.
Just because something is Latin doesn't make it true.
He needed to get bad. A year of living with the ghost of marriage past. 1 year, Nora. I never should have allowed it to happen. But I liked it. I liked being with you. You always made me feel part of the family.
Turnabout's fair play. Let me tell them to take the bed back. Julie.
I gave Lee a check for it.
For the Tempur-Pedic? Why did you do that?
Consider it a lease to own.
It was meant as a gift. You know that.
You want only my good for me? Let me pay for my own sleep. It'll be a whole lot deeper that way. Remember when we used to drive out here to catch the sunset?
You used to say, let's go drive to where the country ends.
I had my moments.
More than you think.
Funny, huh? Me and the country both ending up in the same spot.
I just want so much for you. For it all to work out well for you.
Guess what, okay? As of this minute, how things work out for me is officially no longer your problem.
Well, how are you going to get along? Who's going to cook for you?
Lotus.
You spoke to her? You've been planning this?
No, but I'm sure she'll come and scramble a few egg beaters for a couple of $1,000 a day. I'll get by, Nora. Life goes on. Didn't you hear about it? Life has a mind of its own. I'm off your plate now. You should be happy.
Having you off my plate doesn't make me happy at all.
Why the hell would you want me around? Around.
Why do you think because I care what happens to you.
Now you care. Now that I'm some little human dish you can pour pity in whenever you feel rotten. It's not caring. It's charity, mostly for yourself. Just want me tucked in and snuggled in your house, so whenever you're in the mood, you can be all giving and caring. You can play Remember When We This, or Remember When We That, talk about Billy, or about the boys. You don't want to let me go.
Julian, I let you go long ago.
You left in such dribs and drabs. A person would have had to speed up the camera 10 times to see what was happening. By the time you finally told me you weren't coming home from New York, the life we had together had already melted.
Because you just let it happen. You just accepted my leaving.
I didn't know you were leaving me for him.
I didn't know I would.
Why burn a bridge until you get to it, huh?
No, not at all.
Wait a minute, let's back up a second.
What?
I didn't accept your leaving. You saying it's my fault we aren't together?
Well,
And, oh, what a beautiful moon the sun is up there, right?
no, that is not what I meant.
You said you wanted to go to New York to act on the stage. I said yes, good husband that I was. Not a good husband, it's also a schmuck. You said, Billy, be better off with you. A boy needs his mother. To which I agreed. Or I'd be half a schmuck, right?
Did you ever once ask why? Did you ever say, the hell you're going? I'm not losing you, God damn it.
You are amazing. You make a man eat crow, and then you want him to ask for seconds?
But not a peep out of you. Just the acceptance that if that's what it was, then you're all right. That's what it was.
You know me. You know I'm not a person who wears his pain on the outside. Suffer in silence long enough, it no longer feels like suffering. It feels like elegance. Like the best table at the best restaurant in town. Spilling your guts about your disappointments or your heartbreaks. That becomes the suffering. As nuts as it sounds, hurting almost keeps you, I don't know, like keeps you warm. You have your own private garden inside to bury your grief in. I'm not talking self-pity here. I'm not talking pity at all. Saying my way is to swallow whatever happens. Because most of the time, what the hell can you do about what other people are going to do to you anyway? When you left me like you did, we tore our life together apart, thread by thread. I thought, if this is what she's capable of when she's happy, what the hell will she do to us if she ever gets sad? One thing, I'll never understand, okay? Why him?
Why, Lee?
Why this guy? It's not exactly like you left me for Tyrone Power, you know. Nice enough, I'll give you that. But you left me for him? I did everything for you. Provided, remembered every occasion, listened every day when you came home from the set with rambling stories. Why him?
I can't say it.
You want me to fight for you? This is as good as it's going to get. Tell me why you left me for him.
He made me feel a way I never felt before.
Because he was younger than I was, and you were by what, 3 or 4 years? Because he was more from your world than I was, more entertaining, more exciting, cleverer. Because he's no more of a man than I am.
No, he's not. You're right about that. He's not.
So what the hell was it?
There's a way a man comes to you in life, Julian. A way he places himself in your path that wakes you up. Makes you feel you're really living the life you came here to live. Like he was somewhere else altogether, and you came here for this. Like
be right if the world wouldn't be right if you weren't together. Like everything, even your sanity, depended on it.
And I never made you feel that way? Not ever?
You made me feel a lot of things, wonderful things. Safe, secure, settled. Not that. No, I have to be honest. Never that.
You felt that way with him?
I did. Back then, I really did. I'm not even sure why now. Maybe it was not so much that he needed me. Maybe I needed him. We needed us. We needed there to be an us. I'm sorry.
No. No. Feelings like those are real. I know. I felt them when I was with you. People talk, Nora. I know things haven't been easy for you.
Thank you, people.
Bed of Roses getting a bit crowded.
I deal with it. I think of it as the tax on my happiness. Let me take you home, Julian.
Whatever happens, I could never go back there.
Oh, God.
What?
Thought of something happening to you all on your own here.
I was with my father when he died.
And I wasn't talking about you dying.
Yes, you were. It's all right. I lived through my father's death. I'll live through my own. You know what I mean. Well, being there is, it gives you a better idea of what helpless is. He died at Cedars.
I know.
The place is becoming the village square.
Make jokes.
It's like watching someone very slowly drown. And you're sitting right there. You can't do anything about it. Because the water that's rising isn't water at all. It's time. You can't stop it. There's no drain in the floor you can pull out. Let the time out. Just keeps rising and rising. And I would think about it. My own days when I was there. What's going to happen when it's my turn to go? Who's going to be there to turn to say, wow, I lived. I lived. And it was something. Some things went right. Some things didn't. It's not like I know how to make it any better if there was the next time. Just knowing you'd want to be there when it happens. It's more of a gift than I would have ever expected.
you doing, kid?
It would have been nice if a few more people had shown up.
You want a big crowd? Die young.
All the men wore ties.
I sent out a mass email last night.
Did you see Joe Slotkin?
I couldn't look at him.
Chemo.
Yep.
What a dancer that man was. No one could dip like Joe Slotkin.
I think Joe's all dipped out. Doctor gave him less than a month.
To be honest, I was surprised he got up to leave at the end.
All they paid is to go home from here.
Right. I think I overdid it with the food at the house.
It'll all go. Eating's still the second best way to prove you're alive.
Your piece was beautiful, Lee. It's the best thing you've ever done.
Thanks. Seemed to work.
Even with just the quartet, it really came through.
She'll be giving another eulogy.
Well, you'll still say a few words of mine, won't you?
God willing, I won't be there. You know what I mean.
God willing.
What?
Well, isn't it funny how God always springs to our lips whenever we're out here?
Never hurts to kiss a little ass.
Take it, Billy.
No, let him be. He and Julian can use the time together.
I could just kill myself.
Oh, give yourself a
Of
break.
all the days to go and get my nails done.
How are you supposed to know?
Well, I should have. This past month, he could have gone any minute. All his doctors said.
Oh, like they're not gonna cover all their bets. Overrated as it is, Julian got the last laugh. He got to die in his sleep, in a Tempur-Pedic.
He's doing it in Village Square. Something Julian said. Unimportant. Whose bed were you in when Billy had you paged? You said you were with someone. I assume it was her.
We were not in bed. Marla and I have not,
I know none of my business.
she and I have not anything, not one single thing since the day I moved out. Tell you, she wasn't the reason that I left when I did.
Do me a favor. I can barely accept her existence as a pronoun. Mentioning her by name puts a face on her, and it just makes me want to grab her by one of her extensions and hurl her into the first freshly dug wormiest grave I can find.
Gotcha.
She must have been devastated by the reviews in New York.
She was, a little.
How'd you take the news about Julian?
May come as a shock, but we didn't spend a lot of time talking about Julian. What did he say? Did you tell him?
About you.
About me and the aforesaid pronoun person.
Julian knew.
You told him.
It's a small town, remember?
What did he say about it?
Not a whole lot. I think the last thing in the world he wanted was to have some reason to feel sorry for me.
Oh, how much I liked
Well, that certainly was the best kept secret of the war, especially after you threw the vase at his head.
I was aiming for the wall.
Oh, and his nose just came hurtling out of nowhere.
Can we please not mention that particular afternoon ever again? I know you never saw it that way, but for the most part, I tried to be on my best behavior whenever Julia and I were together.
Well, your worst behavior was pretty miserable.
As previously noted,
Not to mention how you rarely talked to him.
not to mention,
So, how do you explain the best behavior, if and ever there was such an occurrence?
I guess I didn't want him to think that you left him, that he came in second place in some kind of Bernie Michaels.
What hurts more, truth or lying?
6 of 1, I guess. Really was having a hard time saying goodbye.
He's a good man.
He is. In spite of me.
Oh, come on. He thinks of you in ways he never did about his father.
I look at him and I see all the little step genes I passed on. The insecurity, the quiet rage, which sometimes isn't all that quiet. The life-changing decisions of a life change that nobody ever bothered to ask him to approve of.
Kids survive.
Until they grow up, they do.
Sorry. I got a little.
If you want to stay longer,
We'll hang with you.
I'm fine. I just didn't want to leave without telling him. About the divorce, it's a pretty chicken way to do it, I know.
We can only do what we can.
It struck me, talking down to him, thinking,
Thinking what, sweetheart?
didn't you just pick me up at the pony rides, Pop? Wasn't it just a few minutes ago that you covered my eyes at the movie theater to protect me from the 6-inch tall T-Rex? It goes by so fast.
It's a rocket.
I'm gonna go pick up Barbara and bring her to the house.
I thought you signed the papers last week.
I did, I just want her there with me.
You two talking?
Not yet, no. I just texted her and she texted back. It's a start.
Lots of the best.
What about the tool belt guy?
He's doing the house next door. I figure we're all worth a second chance. All the boys are trying to do is grow up, so why not me now?
Maybe all of us.
Mom. Your piece was wonderful, Lee.
Thanks, Billy.
Wasn't it, Mom?
Wonderful.
I'll see you guys back at the house.
Good luck.
Be nice.
Go figure. I'd like to go home, Nora.
Now that I'm short one husband?
Take a chance. Divorce doesn't seem to be working out around here. Maybe marriage can make a comeback.
Is this a kind of a proposal?
Sounds like it to me.
In a graveyard.
Do you have any inkling how much this still is for you and me to disagree about? You're my fucking oxygen, babe. The headwinds are strong, but it's you, and more often you alone, that keeps us airborne. You're the mourner in this marriage. You're my melody, you're my tempo. Take it from a guy who's written a few stretches of music in his time. The best love song I ever heard was the one you wrote for me.
I didn't write it.
The way I heard it, you did.
You see?
What?
This is the guy I fell for 25 years ago.
Mr. Thrall.
This is the kind of talk that got me into trouble in the first place.
Has it all been trouble, has it?
No, not all of it. But do you realize this is a married woman you're talking to like this? You do realize I'm someone's wife.
I did the first time. I just always took it on faith that you were born mine. What do you say? Can I come home?
Not all the way, just yet. Not all at once.
Whatever you say.
How about if we start out in the closet?